Hi Pile 1, thank you for joining me today. If you chose the Green Obsidian Tumblestone, we're going to be looking at your connection with your future spouse and exactly, or maybe not exactly, but pinpoint timing. Okay, when will you meet your future spouse? That's what this reading is about. All right, let's get going on your reading. All right, so first what I've got for you is just kind of a check-in to see where the energy of this connection is at. Okay, basically it's, how are you aligned? And sorry if you hear fireworks in the background. It's the day before Independence Day in the States, okay? Anyway, so here we've got the Six of Pentacles. And so this energy feels really, really good. This lets me know that you're in the midst of really good karma. And so as far as energetically goes, you're very well aligned with the connection to your future spouse, meaning there's not anything blocking the manifestation of it, okay? Just all in due timing basically is what's going on right now. There doesn't seem to be anything that is, that you're doing or not doing that is blocking the connection from manifesting. So it's good news for you guys. Okay, now here we're going to kind of hone in onto timing to see if we can get some clues as to what's going to be going on, so that you know when this connection is going to happen, when this meeting is going to happen. Okay, here we got new moon and snow moon. Okay, so snow moons are always right in the dead of winter, when winter is like the last few days of winter. Okay, so over here in the western side of the globe, it's, usually the snow moon happens usually around February, the middle of February or so. But I know, so if you're on the eastern side of the globe, just think about the last days of winter, when it's, the last days of winter. So that kind of gives you an idea as to when you might possibly meet this person, possibly around a new moon, sometime in the winter, okay? The last days or weeks of winter. All right, so now we're going to look at some details to kind of figure it out. Like what might be going on in your life around the time the two of you guys meet. Here we got perfect storm. So this is letting me know that almost like the tower in the tarot, there's going to be some upheaval going on in your life. Okay, just because there may be some. There may be some things, some structures, some belief systems, habits and stuff like that in your life that might be a block to having a healthy relationship with your future spouse. Like I said, your karma is really good for this connection to happen, but there may still be some things in your life that need to be resolved so that when the two of you do meet, the connection can remain solid, okay, if that makes any sense. So, if there's lingering feelings for someone else in your life, or if there's some belief structures that might clash with theirs, something's going to be happening in your life that's basically going to be like clearing the path for you and your future spouse to not only meet, but forge a healthy path together, okay, where there's not going to be as many challenges to face as a couple. All right, so that's going to be a clue that the time is approaching for when you will be meeting your future spouse. So let's get some more details about, what's going to be happening around you when you meet your future spouse. And here we've got the Four of Wands reversed. We have the Page of Swords. the Seven of Pentacles, and then we have Justice in reverse. Okay, so there may be some friendships, some old ties, maybe people that you've known from the past that you're outgrowing, or that you will be outgrowing. So like taking a snapshot of the time when you'll be meeting your future spouse, this is what's going to be happening. You're going to be kind of breaking ties with relationships with people that are no longer serving you. Not necessarily like they're not serving you, but they're almost like hindering your growth, right? You've outgrown them. They're kind of like dead weight to you energetically. And definitely people that, you know, you'll be cutting ties with people whose energy may feel abrasive to you, maybe even threatening in some way. People who have harsh opinions or harsh beliefs. And maybe people whose words kind of cut deep. You're going to be cutting ties. So in the time that you're meeting your future spouse, it's going to be amidst a time when you're in the middle, basically, of just purging your friends and your family list. Okay? I mean, I know we can never really cut off blood family. I mean, I guess we could, but you know, if it's family members, then it's just going to be a thing where you're loving them from a distance, okay? Like, you're really going to be going and looking at your inner circle and going separate ways, going away from people whose presence in your life is taking from you and draining from you, okay? And so you're really just going to be at a point in your life where you're looking at everything that you've built and you're wondering if the time that you've put in to whatever it is you've been putting time into is yielding back to you the results that you want. Like, you're diligent, you're hard at working, you know, in relationships and business and stuff like that. And you're really going to be looking at certain areas of life, wondering if, okay, do I want to continue putting my energy and my effort and my time and maybe even my money into this relationship, this business, this life path, or whatever, okay? And then you're really going to be looking at things from a sense of, you know, is your time being wasted? And you may even be in a mind space kind of looking at things where something may have happened where you have a feeling of something not being fair, okay? Like there's some kind of injustice that was done. All right, so that's what's going to be kind of going on in your life around the time that you and your future spouse are going to be meeting. All right, so that's the timing part of it. So now we're just going to be looking at the energy kind of surrounding this connection, maybe kind of any advice that can be given to kind of help keep you aligned in this connection. So here we have book, dog, and then roses, or lilies, I think those are flowers. Flowers. It looks like you're going to be given some kind of an invitation to, you know, from a close friend or family member to some kind of an event. And that could be very well too. This could also represent that as well. I mean, the Four of Wands is normally seen as like the soulmate twin flame card. It also can denote weddings. So maybe you're going to be getting some kind of an invitation to someone's, you know, or hearing news about someone's engagement, someone's maybe having a baby, something like that, okay? So that can mean that that's how you're going to meet this person. Your future spouse is maybe through, you know, a wedding. Someone very close to you is getting married and you might meet this person at their wedding. It could mean that, you know, a close friend or family member of yours, you know, may possibly be having a baby and you might be meeting this person as they might be like a family member of, you know, that person. Something like that, okay? But I think it's more, what I'm picking up more is more of like a wedding type of thing, okay? Something really important to a close family member of yours. You're going to be getting an invitation to something and that may possibly be how you meet this person, or it's another clue as to what's going to be going on in your life when this connection is going to happen. Okay? All right. Let's see what you can focus on to kind of keep in alignment with this connection. And this says selling out. So this is just letting you know to keep your energy and your karma clean, so that this connection, so that there's nothing blocking this connection from manifesting sooner. Stay true to yourself, your authentic self. Okay? Don't sell yourself short of anything. Know your worth, know what you deserve. Make sure you're setting boundaries, and don't accept less than what you know you deserve. Okay? Stay true to you, pile one. That's very important. All right. Lastly, and this is the last of your messages, okay, and this is from your future spouse to you. All right, so these are messages from your future spouse to you. Okay, blah. This is all I know, and I'll interpret these in a minute. Star-crossed lovers. I miss you, no one else compares. Okay, so some of you, maybe a small subset of you, possibly already know this person. Your paths may have crossed in the past at some point. And the two of you may actually be crisscrossing, like in real life, and just be missing each other. Like, you know, you're gonna meet and then something happens. Like it's very possible, like this connection is so close to happening that the two of you are just like crisscrossing. You know, like you're at the store, and then, you know, you leave the store, and then 10 or 15 minutes later they're at the same store, right? Or, you know, you're at a bookstore, and then you leave the bookstore, and then they're there 10 or 15 minutes later. It's like you're really close to meeting, but you keep crossing paths, but missing each other just by, like, you know, a few minutes or an hour or something like that. All right, and so this person is going to have, like, they only have eyes for you. And that's kind of what I see here too. Look like they're blinded. But what I'm seeing here, though, is that, you know, you're not going to have to worry about wandering eyes. You're not going to have to worry about feeling like you got to compete with someone else for their affection. They're only going to have eyes for you. And you're going to be all that they know. Okay, so this may mean that you're going to be like the first real relationship that they've had. You know, I don't know if that means that they've never had a relationship, or if they've had a relationship but they've never known love like the way they're going to know it with you. Like, there's something about their connection and their relationship with you that's going to be a first for them, beyond being a spouse. Like, I definitely see, like, for many of you, you're going to be the first one that they're getting married to. For some of you, you know, if you meet this person and they've been married before, that just simply means that they've never had the kind of love and the kind of connection with anyone else in their life except for you. Okay, you're all they know. They're only going to have eyes for you, and your paths have crossed recently, probably frequently. And your souls have crossed too. I'm not really picking up on, like, past life connection. That is a possibility, but I do feel like the two of you, like, your paths are so close to crossing. So that makes me feel like this is going to happen within 6 months to a year. Okay. But definitely when it's really cold outside during the winter months, okay, close to a new moon. All right, pile one, that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, do me a favor and hit that like button. Share, comment, subscribe if you feel led to. I always am so honored to help you out in this way, and I look forward to reading for you again very soon. Bye, pile one. Hi, pile two. If you chose the blue Aragonite, this is your reading. Today what we're going to be looking at is timing. Trying to pinpoint and narrow down when you're going to be meeting your future spouse, okay? So we're going to look at any kind of type of clues. Like we'll actually try and pinpoint like maybe seasons, a time of year, but we're also going to be looking at what may be possibly going on in your life when this connection is going to manifest, okay? So got a lot of good stuff here to kind of help you with figuring out when this connection is going to happen. So first we're just going to kind of look at the energy that is influencing this manifestation of the connection right now, okay? And we've got the Eight of Swords. So this is a very blocking energy. And the Eight of Swords really talks about being imprisoned by your own mind, your own mindset, by your own self-limitations. And of course, you know, it kind of gives me a feeling like you might be going through a time in your life where you're feeling bound to something or someone. And you may feel hopeless, stuck, trapped. And these are all very heavy feelings. And it's those feelings that are clogging up the channel. Like when I think of manifestation, I think of like there's you, right? There's you, and then there's what you're wanting to manifest. And there's kind of like a pipeline. There's a space between the two of you, and that space is filled up with energy. Now, this energy is either magnetic, like it's pulling what you want to you, or this energy is repelling, like it's keeping you and the thing or the person or the situation or circumstance from manifesting, right? And so right now, the energy that is in between you and the connection, like you and meeting your future spouse, is filled up with fear, feelings of being trapped, stuck, self-limitations, things of that nature, okay? Let's see. We'll look at timing to see when, like times of the year possibly. Neptune. We've got Venus. And then we have the black moon. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I see first, and then I'll add on some side notes. For most of you, okay, so let me tell you what a black moon is. A black moon is, it's something that it's a rare occurrence. And a black moon happens during a month where there are 2 new moons, okay? As opposed to a blue moon is when there are 2 full moons in 1 month. So a black moon. So what this is telling me is that this meeting between you and your future spouse is going to happen during a time when there are 2 black, or during a black moon. So during a month where there's going to be 2 new moons. So this is a timeless reading, but I will let you know as of the filming of this video, the next black moon will be happening April 30th of 2022. So April 30th, 2022 is the next black moon, okay? If you're watching this video after that time, just look it up, okay? Google it. And I will tell you that a black moon comes once every roughly 3 years, okay? 2.5 to 3 years a black moon comes. And so Venus and Neptune, what this is letting me know is that I'm not hearing that it's going to be like, you know, it has nothing to do with the sign that Neptune rules, which is Pisces. It has nothing to do with Pisces or Taurus or Libra season. What I'm picking up from these 2 cards coming out together, that this connection will be going on during a time this connection will happen. So this first meeting will happen during a time when you are feeling very disillusioned about love, okay? Very disillusioned about whether or not people can be loyal, they can be faithful. You're just going to be very disillusioned in the area of love in general. Not necessarily just love as far as romantic relationship goes, but love as far as like in general. Okay, so that might mean that there's going to be a time in your life where you're finding out that people aren't like you, okay? Your future spouse, though, is going to be, but you're going to be finding out, and it's going to be during a time in your life. It's going to be heartbreaking, okay? For most of you. So it's definitely going to be disappointing. All right, so that's there as far as timing goes. Let's look for some more clues as to what's going to be going on in your life when this meeting is going to happen. And we've got, yep, fallen angel. Okay, that's letting us know more that this meeting is going to happen during a time in your life where people that you're giving your all to, or you know, someone you're close in relationship to, people in your inner circle, that type of thing. Like a fallen angel is someone who has fallen short of their expectations. So yeah, it's more pointing towards being disillusioned in areas of love, okay? So unfortunately, but I guess, I mean, maybe that is a good thing, that's when this connection is going to happen, because they're going to be kind of like, you know, because when all this stuff is happening and going on, it's going to feel very unbalanced is coming up, but that's not the word that I'm wanting to say. I guess disillusioned is just everything's going to feel so confusing. You may lose that sense of home, not a physical home, but like, you know, an emotional, spiritual home. So this person is going to be coming along during a time when you're really going to need that connection the most, okay? All right, let's pick up some more clues. More clues. All right, here we have the Three of Cups in reverse, and then we have the Knight of Cups, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Page of Cups in reverse, we got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Three of Wands in reverse. There's a lot of blocked energy here, yeah. So this is just more confirmation that whatever you're going to be going on, whatever is going to be going on in your life, your relationships are going to be in some kind of upheaval. Specifically with 3 different people. So we have 2 pages. So these are teens or young adults, okay? And then the Knight of Cups is somebody that might be, you know, just a young adult in their 20s, possibly early 30s, something like that. If you're older, then this might be actual kids, kids of yours, or, you know, kids that are important to you and your family. But it's going to be happening during a time in your life where, like, the party's ended, like the celebration's done, you know, and you're really going to be looking at things and really feeling like you know, you're like, you've wasted so much time, and and now it's like you were so sure of what you wanted, you were so sure of your connections, and then all of a sudden it's like all of that changed. Just feeling really disillusioned in the areas of your relationships in general. All right, so let's get some advice, shall we? We've got Child, Dice, and then we also have the Fox. Okay, so what this is literally telling you is how am I wanting to put this? So when I'm thinking of the child in this particular lineup, like the child is innocent, right? And children can easily trust the wrong people because they inherently want to see the good in everyone, right? And so what this is telling me is that this may be part of who you are. Like, you kind of have this childlike trust, and you have this way of being in relationships where you just want to open up and give all of yourself in the relationship right away. Just who you are. You're so loving. And so this is kind of giving you it's giving you a caution. It's telling you to be very cautious about taking chances on basically sneaky people. All right, the fox is very sneaky, is very cunning, very conning, very deceiving, very deceptive. Okay, don't let the inner child in you don't let the inner child in you be the one that chooses who to give your heart to. Okay, they're not the one that has the ability or the knowledge or the capacity to know what is best for you. Okay, that's adult you, right? And so when you are getting into relationships and friendships with people, employ some boundaries, and don't serve your heart to people on a platter without having your boundaries in place. Okay, you can give yourself of people, but you can keep yourself. Basically what this is saying, okay, we'll put it this way, because you can show up fully in any connection that you start. That's okay, but don't give your heart to somebody. Don't get emotionally attached to someone until you've known them long enough to see who they really are in your life. Okay, so I mean, you can show up fully in any connection. You know, you can be you authentically from day one, from minute one when you meet somebody. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, or actually what I'm not saying, I'm just interpreting your reading. What your higher self is saying is to build a fence, build boundaries, not walls. Okay, walls keep everybody out. We don't want to keep everybody out. We just want to keep the wrong people out. Okay, so build a fence, build boundaries around your heart, and only give your heart away to those people whom with your heart is safe. Okay, all right. That's it. Sometimes it takes me a minute to flesh out the message correctly. All right, so let's look at some more cards here. This is going to let us know kind of like some actions that you can take to kind of help yourself align better with this connection so you can manifest it quicker. Here we have dreams, cycles, pay attention to signs, and then procrastination. All right, so don't be afraid to dream big when it comes to, because being disillusioned in your, so when this happens, when this is happening, when you're feeling disillusioned in, your love relationships or just relationships in general, that might cause you to really wonder or doubt that the ability to have the kind of love relationship that you want is even possible. Okay, don't let go of your dreams. This is also saying for some of you with the pay attention to signs, you may be receiving dreams or signs in your dreams as well. Okay, and so part of with the whole Neptune Venus thing, this is a cycle that is ending, possibly a karmic cycle for you. So, and usually that's what happens when you're going through a really, like a tower moment in your life. That's a cycle that's ending, and it's happening for a reason, right? Tower moments, tower in tarot, those kinds of moments happen because The foundation that the tower was built upon is faulty. It's not sustainable. So, you know, the structure has to come down so that it can be rebuilt from the foundation up, okay? So don't fear that change. You know, as much as you possibly can, just accept it, let things go, as relationships might be ending, or relationships might be restructuring, or, you know, you're, you know, where you may have been kind of like naive or blind in the dynamics of relationship, like the blinders are going to come off and you're going to see things much clearly, like how things really are. And, you know, don't see it as, you know, time wasted or anything like that. It's a valuable lesson that you needed to learn, because a lot of that may have been karmic stuff carried over from previous lifetimes, okay? So you're just you're clearing out karma. When all this stuff is happening, just think about, okay, I'm clearing out karma. It doesn't mean that you can't have relationships, you know, fulfilling mutual relationships and friendships with people who are inherently loyal, faithful, reliable, stuff like that. Those people are out there, okay? But you're meant to learn that not every person that you come across is instantly that way, or just inherently that way, okay? And then as far as procrastination goes, if you have a tendency to procrastinate, it's time to kind of like work on that. And if you're not inherently a procrastinator, that just means that the disillusionment may cause you to kind of drag your feet with meeting new people. Don't procrastinate on that, okay? Instead, just, you know, build those boundaries, build that fence around your heart, not the wall, but build boundaries around your heart. Continue making connections with people, but do not serve your heart up to them on a platter until you know that your heart is safe with them, okay? And for the most part, really, that takes time, okay? But I'm hearing you're going to know, especially after your experience with, you know, the Neptune-Venus thing. You're gonna really develop a knowing of someone's energy, where you can just feel almost instantly whether or not your heart is safe with them, okay? So that's cool. All right, this is the last of your messages, pile 2, and what we're going to look at here are direct messages from your future spouse. And this one says, I'm scared of losing you. I'd rather stay in my comfort zone. And then this one says, I acted like I didn't care, but inside it was killing me. All right, so for a few of you, you may actually already know your future spouse. It may be someone that you have already had some kind of a relationship with. Otherwise, this is letting you know that your future spouse is, I'm picking up earth, a lot of earth from them. Meaning they're going to be very stable, very grounded, very level-headed. They're not going to be easily carried away with their emotions. They may even be somewhat quiet. Very contemplative. So, and what that means is that they're going to be very loyal to you. They're going to go above and beyond to make sure that you know that you're safe with them, because they don't want to lose you. Okay? I'm hearing that you're going to be the apple of their eye. Okay? They might be letting you know that of the two of you, they're going to be the one that is less, I don't know how to say that. Maybe they're the introvert. They're going to be introverted. They're going to be more of the reserved one, and you might possibly be more the riskier one. Okay? And they might have a hard time expressing how they feel towards you, okay? obviously, if you don't know your future spouse, then they can't act like they didn't care, but this is just letting you know they're going to have a hard time expressing how they feel, okay? But you can help them with that, or, you know, you can just allow them to be who they are and figure out what their love language is and how they show love, because people show love different ways. You know, they may not show love with words, but they may show it with like acts of service. Which I think a lot of earth signs typically do. Okay, earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, right? Yeah. All right, pile 2, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. And definitely share, comment, subscribe if you feel led to do so. And I will be reading for you again very soon. Thanks, pile 2. Well, hey there, pile 3. Thank you for joining me today for your reading. If you chose the Black Obsidian, we're going to be looking at some timing, figuring out when you're going to meet your future spouse, okay? And yes, we're actually going to try and narrow down or pinpoint a timeline, okay? But we'll also be looking at clues that will be going on in your life to let you know when this is happening. All right, so let's get started, shall we? We'll put that right there. All right, so the first card I have for you is letting us know where your alignment, your energetic alignment with this connection is at, okay? You know, is the energy blocking, you know, the connection, or is it supporting the connection? Is it going to be pulling the connection in faster or repelling it, okay? Here we have the Hanged Man. So this is letting us know that the journey, like, things are literally suspended. Things are suspended right now. So there isn't really any kind of movement happening as far as the connection goes. And we'll find out in the reading probably why, what's going on to cause this. Because this is a, you know, this isn't just, like, it's a major arcana card. So it's like a very important time in your life. Usually moments like this happen in order to withdraw from situations or relationships or stuff like that, in order to gain a better perspective, a different perspective, a higher perspective, a spiritual perspective, all right? To kind of get like a 35,000 foot view, all right? So let's see why things are in suspension. But first, what we're going to look at is some actual timing to see if we can figure out or pinpoint when the connection is going to manifest, all right? So here we have Mars. So Mars rules Virgo and Scorpio. Oh, and then we have Scorpio. Heavy Scorpio energy coming through. And then we also have Pluto. All right, you guys. Scorpio is all over this reading. All over the reading, even with the Hanged Man. I'm not saying the Hanged Man is for Scorpio, but in times of transformation and renewal and rebirth, usually that only happens. You think of the butterfly, right? When the caterpillar is transforming into the butterfly, it stays emotionless, still and quiet, encased in its cocoon before it's, you know, while it's transforming and while it's going through its metamorphosis. So this could literally mean that this connection is going to happen during Scorpio season. This is a timeless reading, so it's, you know, whenever Scorpio season. It may not be the Scorpio season coming up, but it's Scorpio season. And it's also really heavy on the transformation. So this connection is going to be happening at some point during or right after a major life transforming rebirth, renewal, or transformation for you, okay? Spiritual awakening, or just an awakening, is coming through as well, okay? And it may very well be that your future spouse like you going through this awakening or this renewal, this rebirth, this transformation is what's going to quickly align you to your future spouse, because they're also going to be, you know, awakened, enlightened to some degree, like you are. Okay, so the two of you are going to have that in common. All right, so let's look at more of what's going to be happening in your life. So we've got heart, home, and compassion. So this connection is going to be coming during a time when you're very still, you're suspended, but what you're doing is you're coming back home to yourself. Okay, you're getting in touch with your heart space. You are learning how to love yourself. You're learning how to self-care, treat yourself better, make yourself your home, right? And so showing up for yourself in a way that, you know, like reparenting yourself, you're loving yourself in a way that only you really can. And then you'll be able to attract people in your life that can mirror your love for yourself right back to you. They'll love you on the same level that you love yourself, okay? That's good. I love that. All right, let's look at some more clues. Here we have the Three of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Chariot in reverse, the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. So this connection is definitely going to manifest during a time of some pain, heart pain, emotional pain. So while you're going through this suspension and you're going through this transformation, you're going to be feeling emotions like feeling like you're, you know, constantly having to compete with other people, maybe for attention, or maybe you're in a mode of comparing yourself to others. But you're going to be feeling very kind of down on yourself, unsure of yourself, definitely questioning your worth. And that's part of being in this space right here, is you're learning to love yourself and not compare yourself to others. You're learning to love yourself as you are. And all of this, you know, all of this is going to be triggered by, you know, what's going on here. Okay. Feeling very stagnated, like you want to move forward, you want to make progress, but everything that you're doing just doesn't seem to gain traction. And that's because you're meant to be in this hanged man space. Really looking at what you've been holding near and dear to your heart, and looking to see if those things or those people or those circumstances, those dreams, those ideas, those concepts, if those things have what's the word I want to use? Any bearing, I guess, to hold such a close place to your heart. You're also going to be in a time of going through a time where you're really clutching on to something that you need to let go of, but you're afraid to. And this is definitely going to cause you to look at things a lot differently. You're going to be seeing things so much different. So even though things are going to seem confusing or dark, maybe it's not even confusing. I don't think it's confusing. You're going to be very aware of what's going on. You're going to be aware of why. You know, this Ace of Swords is letting me know that your mind's going to be very sharp, and you're going to be very clear on what's going on. You're going to have a whole new perspective on things in general. Oh, I didn't even notice that. We got black obsidian and all this Scorpio energy going on here. This is a very Scorpion energy reading. Not saying that you or your person is a Scorpio, but this reading itself is just screaming, you know, transformation and rebirth. And you know, when you're thinking about the caterpillar being inside of the is it chrysalis, I don't know how to say that, their cocoon basically, and they're going through that transformation. Think of how it feels when you're like tightened up inside this cocoon for that time. I'm sure it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't feel enjoyable, it doesn't feel exciting. It's probably very uncomfortable, if not terrifying at first, because you're shedding everything that you have come to know. Maybe even your identity, like everything is being transformed. Which that in and of itself, if you're like shedding your identity because you're, you know, you're awakening to who and what you really are. Not just who and what you really are, but the real reality of things. That is scary at first. And then it becomes empowering and enlightened when you realize, oh, okay, you know, I'm not who I thought I was in a good way. You know, I thought I was not good enough. I thought I was, you know, A, B, C, D, and E. But really, you know, I'm this magnificent, powerful being, and I can create my own reality. That kind of thing. Okay, but this connection is going to be happening in the midst of all this chaos and turmoil that's going on, because you're like going through that that cocoon moment. Okay, but I promise you, when you come out of the end of that, you're going to love, 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 love. You're gonna love your wings. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it, love it. All right, let's get some advice, shall we? All right, let's see if we can help you out here. We got the snake, we have the clouds, and then we have clovers. Okay, so be very careful about this. Could be talking about actual people or a person who is clouding your knowledge of how good how lucky you can be in love. This could be an actual person. What I'm really picking up on though is that, so like the snake is, when you think about the snake in the Garden of Eden, or as it is depicted here, it's something to watch out for. Something that's deceptive, that's feeding falsities, trying to get you to believe things that aren't true, things of that nature, right? And so this, what I'm picking up to be is this is like your thoughts. Like the whole point of going through this transformation time in your life and being suspended is because of thought patterns and belief patterns and your programming that is clouding you from being able to see how good you can have it in love, how lucky you can be in love, how lucky you can be in general. Realizing that you can manifest the love, the abundance, anything that you want. Okay? So just be aware of any thoughts that might be going on a loop that are making you believe that the good things in life aren't available to you, because that's a lie. Okay? They absolutely are. They absolutely are. All right, you guys, here we're going to look to see what actionable steps you might be able to take to help you further align with this first meeting with your future spouse. Here we have love, we have courage, and then we have take off your mask. Okay, so part of the challenge of this this transformative time for you is loving yourself for who you really are. You loving yourself for who you really are. Like you taking off your mask and looking at yourself and facing yourself, everything about you, okay? Not, you know, focus on, yeah, like the good that you are and things like that, but also looking at any of your shortcomings, taking a really good, long, hard look at yourself as you truly are, and taking off that mask, making peace with who you are authentically, because all of us have shadows, right? But showing up authentically in every area of your life and allowing others to see you authentically as well, flaws and all. And having the courage to do that, and knowing that you authentically, the authentic you is worthy of love. Don't be afraid to love. Don't be afraid to show up as your authentic self, thinking that, you know, if you show up as who you really are, no one's going to want you. That is not true, okay? And actually, when you yourself learn to love who you are behind the mask, and then you decide to drop the mask once and for all, the relationships that you're going to attract into your life across the board, okay? Not just your future spouse, not just romantic relationships, but you know, relationships with your friends, your family, even co-workers and clients and you know, things of that nature. You know, you're going to be able to manifest relationships with people who see who you really are and absolutely adore you. And that is going to give you the best time of your life, right? Or it's going to contribute to it anyway. All right, you guys, we've got a few more messages from your future spouse here to give to you, and then that's going to conclude your reading. So here we have, I crave you like no other, and this has Scorpio written all over it. This is such a Scorpionic reading. Oh my gosh, there's Scorpio all over this reading. And then we have, there are hidden influences that I don't quite understand. And then thank you for being you. So, don't be afraid of this time in suspension. Don't be afraid to take your time, the time that you need to really fully heal so that you feel comfortable showing up as your real, raw, authentic self. Okay? Because this meeting, this union, this connection is being divinely guided either way. Okay, meaning that you don't have to worry about, you know, if I don't meet them soon, they're possibly going to meet somebody else, marry them, and blah, blah. No, don't worry about that. Okay? This connection, you and your future spouse, your paths are being guided together divinely. So all of this is happening just as it's supposed to, all right? And when you do meet your future spouse, they are going to love you. They're going to love the real you, the real authentic you, the you behind the mask that you're not going to be wearing anymore. Right? All right, pile 3. That was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do me a favor and hit that like button for me. If you feel led to, also subscribe, comment, and share. I value your feedback very much, and I look forward to reading for you again very soon. Talk to you later, pile 3. Well, hey there, pile 4. This is your reading if you chose the red Jasper. And what we're going to be looking at today is trying to pinpoint an actual time frame for when you're going to be meeting your future spouse. Okay, so let's find out when you'll be meeting your future spouse. First, what I want to look at here though is get an overall snapshot of where this connection is at. And here we have the Queen of Cups. Okay, beautiful, beautiful energy. So despite what may be going on in your life right now, believe it or not, the energy that is connecting you and your future spouse right now is very, very nourished, very supported, and it's magnetizing. So you guys are actually being drawn together rather than going through something that's repelling the connection or keeping it from happening, okay? Let's see if we can find some, pinpoint some timing. Okay, we got the wolf moon. So the wolf moon is the full moon in January. So that's possibly a clue as to when the two of you will be meeting. This is a timeless reading, so whenever the next wolf moon is going to be, we have square. And then we also have solar eclipse. Okay, so possibilities are, you know, close to the wolf moon in January, close to the next, you know, or close to a solar eclipse. With these two together, though, this also could mean that this connection is going to happen during a time when there's some kind of upheaval going on in your life. Okay, think tower moment. And actually, this is so funny because I think out of the 4 readings I've done so far, I think every single reading had some kind of a message about a tower moment. All right. So yeah, as far as timing goes, so that's just kind of giving you some clues. It's definitely going to happen during a time when things are going to be in some kind of upheaval. Okay. If you're looking for like an actual time frame, like the time of year, it's going to be probably sometime during the winter months. For many of you, it's going to be close to the wolf moon in January. Okay. All right. Next, let's find some more clues as to what's going to be happening in your life when this connection will be happening. So we've got heart, home. So what this is telling me is that there's going to be some kind of a, you know, like in as far as life goes, there's going to be some kind of like an emotional storm. Something's going to be happening. Like you're going to be in the middle of some kind of a storm emotionally, mentally, possibly even spiritually. And that storm is forcing you back inside yourself, back into your heart. Okay. Where really that's the only control you ever really have over anything is you and how you feel, how you see yourself and things like that, which that's the whole point of this storm, is to force you back inside yourself. Because I'd say for many of us who have not gone through this journey yet, until we go through this storm, this massive life-changing, transforming storm, you know, we normally focus all of our energy outside of us. Like we're always looking for love in all the wrong places, or we're looking for validation from other people. You know, we're looking to other people to provide us with what we need, when really we have the ability to provide those things for ourselves. And then, you know, people in relationships will come along and augment what we're already feeling, right? Like, but we're never supposed to be requiring validation from other people in order to feel good about ourselves, right? That's a toxic way of being. It's a toxic way of thinking, toxic way of feeling. And so these storms in life will come along to force you back inside yourself, right? And that's where you're safest. You're always safe inside yourself. I mean, think about it. It just like it, even, you know, when a storm is happening in real life outside, most of us, we go back into our home, you know, and we ride out the storm there inside our homes until the storm passes. Well, this is exactly what's happening to you energetically. You're being forced back inside, so that you can get reacquainted with yourself, learn how to love yourself, learn how to validate yourself, learn how to get connected to yourself, things of that nature, okay? Next we have stars in the sky, limitless possibility. And you're really going to be finding that as you are connecting to yourself and you're coming back home to yourself, there is no limits to what is available for you when you realize that there's nothing that anyone else can give you that you can't already give to yourself. You know, as far as basic wants and needs go. And so, like, and this goes for the law of attraction as well. When you figure out that you are capable of producing everything you already want and need because you already are inherently those things. It's amazing. It's just like a whole world of possibility opens up to you, and you know that you can create and manifest anything that you want as long as you are in full alignment with it, right? Interesting. Okay, so what else do we have here? We're going to look at some more clues as to what's going to be happening in your life when this connection will be taking place. We have the Three of Cups reversed, the Six of Cups reversed, then we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so you really are literally gonna, like, you're gonna, okay, so this storm is just like the party's over. This is how you're going to be feeling, okay? And this is what things are going to look like on the outside. So it's going to feel and look like the party's over. You've lost, you're going to be during a time when you kind of lose a sense of celebration, you lose a sense of enjoyment and excitement, and you're having a hard time not living in the past, or not wanting the past, or not, you know, it's like you're longing for the things, you know, of the old days. Right? Getting stuck on memories, and maybe even dwelling on the bad stuff that happened. And you're going to be at a point where it's just like, man, you wish that a knight in shining armor would come along and save you. Right? And this also could mean that you're having a hard time slowing down, and because this time in your life is going to probably have you in such a place where you're wanting this time of your life to be over with. So you're like, okay, I need to heal. I need to hurry up and read these books. I need to watch these videos. I need to go to these seminars, all this stuff. And you're not really slowing down to really be in the present moment, which is what this healing is all about. Still being too much in the mind, wanting to fix things, wanting to change things, wanting things to be different than what they are. And the whole point of coming back home to yourself is getting out of your head and into the present moment, okay? So that's like a snapshot of your life, where you're going to be when this connection is coming. All right. Let's look at some advice for you. We've got the Moon, the Key, then we also have the Mountain. All right, so the good news is that whatever you feel is in the way, whatever obstacles or challenges you feel that are way too bigger than you, way too big for you to overcome, whatever you're seeking that's going to solve these issues for you is going to be made known to you very soon. Okay? There isn't a mountain that is so high that you can't get over, or around or under. You have the ability to overcome anything. Okay? And so the cool thing about it, like about this whole situation, you're going to come across some bit of information. It may even just be an idea that just all of a sudden comes to you, but some kind of a realization is going to come your way that's going to make this mountain into a tiny little anthill. Okay, that's going to help you out immensely. Okay, so what this is going to let us know is what you can do, or if there's any actions that you can take that will help align you more to this meeting happening. We've got home, which, there we go, heart home. Yeah. We also have self-sabotage, and then family and tribe. Okay, so coming back home to yourself is really going to help you not self-sabotage. Because when you're going through the storm, of course, all your triggers are going to come up. All your self-doubts, all your self-worth issues, any any horrible or challenging or painful memory, anything that's going to cause you to feel any kind of pain, suffering, any sense of hopelessness, any of the heavy emotions, you know. And if you don't know how to process those emotions or what to do with them, that typically can cause all kinds of self-sabotaging behaviors, coping mechanisms that aren't exactly healthy, right? And so coming back home to yourself and realizing that the sky isn't even the limit. There are no limits. That's going to help you as long as well as connecting with your family and your tribe, your friends, your family, your tribe, during this time is going to keep you from self-sabotage. Okay, so while you're going through this really difficult time, even though you're being forced back inside yourself, that doesn't mean to isolate yourself. Okay, not at all. This whole thing is meant to teach you how to be your authentic self with other people. So you're going to be forced back inside to really get acquainted with your authentic self, and then you need to share that person, who you really are, with other people in your life. You need to see and find out who your heart is safe with. But first you need to know that you are safe. Your heart is safe with you. That's one of the biggest lessons you're going to learn, is how can you be safe for your own heart, right? And then you'll be able to go out and, you know, so like building boundaries and building a fence around your heart, not a wall. Okay, a wall keeps everybody out. You don't want to keep everybody out. You just want to keep the people who are not good for your heart. You want to keep those people out, but you don't want to keep the good people out. You know, then you can build a fence or, you know, boundaries around your heart, even with yourself, right? You got to have boundaries even with yourself. And then with other people, that way, you know, you'll know which people, whose heart you'll be safe, whose heart, how am I going to say that? You'll know the connections with people where your heart will be safe, right? But first you need to know that your own heart is safe with you. Anyway, okay. Last bit of information here for you guys, and this is these are messages directly from your future spouse to you. Here we have, I'm starting to understand our soul connection. I'm confused about what I want right now. I need you. That's an interesting dynamic there. Okay, so your future spouse is letting you know that they're probably going through a very similar situation in their life. Very similar situation, like your paths are very mirrored right now, and they're having to deal with a lot of the same issues that you are. But they do know, they can feel your energy. They know that you're out there, and they know that they need you, okay? And the same way that you're coming to an understanding about yourself and about other people, and, you know, which people are going to be safe spaces for your heart, this person is doing the same thing. They're going through the same thing. And you know, they could possibly be in a time of their life where they're in their own kind of a spiritual journey where their eyes are being opened up as well. Okay. All right, pile 4. What an awesome reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was my honor to be able to read for you. If this reading brought any value to you at all, please do me a favor and smash that like button. Definitely comment, share, subscribe if you feel led to do so. And I will be reading again for you very soon. Thanks, pile 4. Well, hey, pile 5. How are you doing today? We're going to be looking at timing. Okay, we're going to be looking at when you and your future spouse are going to be meeting for the very first time. So if you picked the pink porcelain Jasper, this is your reading. All right, so let's just get to it. So what we're going to find out first here is the energy that's making up or influencing or supporting this connection the most. Okay, what's the dominant energy that's making up this connection right now? We've got 8 of Pentacles. So energies are hard at work. That could be you. That could just be, you know, energies in general. But this is very, very supportive. Okay, so a lot of hard work is going into clearing the channel for this connection to actually happen. And if you guys hear the fireworks in the background, they're shooting off fireworks right now, 4th of July in the States, you guys. All right, so let's see if we can pinpoint some actual timing. We have Virgo, we have Gemini, and we also have 3rd quarter. Okay, so what this is saying is that this connection is going to be, and this is a timeless reading, so during Virgo season, during Gemini season, close to a 3rd quarter moon. Okay, so Virgo season is, when is Virgo season? Early September, late August. So like the last 2 weeks of August, first couple of weeks of September. Gemini season is the last couple of weeks of May, first couple of weeks of June. Okay, all right. All right, so now what we're going to look at is some clues. So what we're basically going to be doing is taking a snapshot of your life, you know, what's going on in your life around the time that this meeting between you and your future spouse is going to meet. So we're looking for clues so that you can notice when the time is drawing near. Here we have beloved, a radical acceptance. So you're going to be going through, so yeah, I can see the hard work and I see where it's going. Okay. You're going to be in the midst of learning how to radically love and accept yourself exactly as you are, your authentic self. You're going to be putting in a lot of work, if you're not already, in falling in love with yourself, feeling comfortable with yourself, and being able to drop the mask completely and show up to the world, not just to yourself, but to the world exactly as you are, and loving every bit, nook and cranny, every dark side, every side of yourself. Radical acceptance. And so this connection is going to happen at a time when you're pretty much here. Okay? Which is going to be awesome, because that means you're going to be attracting somebody into your life who's going to love you exactly as you are. They're going to mirror the love that you have for yourself right back to you. Okay? All right, let's find some more details about what's going on in your life when this happens, this connection, this meeting happens. We got the High Priestess. Let's see, 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. We have the 8 of Cups. And we have the Hermit. Okay. So this first meeting with your future spouse is going to be happening during a time when you're really dealing with, you know, what's hidden, what's subconscious. You're really diving deep into the dark waters of your own soul. You're going to be looking at the fact of how you may have been too generous with your energy, too generous with your time, your effort, your energy, your resources, to people that may have been taking advantage of you. And so, you know, this is going to be a time where you're walking away and you're spending some time alone. It's like this is so cool that these two are right by each other, because it's like this person is walking away from all the empty cups. So they're walking away from all the people, all the situations, all the circumstances, any experience that has left them drained and feeling empty, to go basically replenish themselves. And that's what you're learning too. When you're learning how to radically love and accept yourself, you're filling your own cup, right? So that's what it's like you're going to be in the midst of doing, is you've left all the draining stuff behind, spending some time by yourself, because you're learning how to love and accept yourself and fill your own cup. so that people can't really drain you anymore. They can't drain you when you're constantly filling yourself up, and you know, the supply that you're receiving is abundant and limitless, and there's a limitless resource of it, because you're going to be learning how to draw your energy and regenerate your energy, not only from yourself but from, you know, the universe, you know, source, God, whatever you feel connected to, right? And so, yeah, you're going to be in a very beautiful space when you meet your future spouse. You're going to know yourself really well. You're going to have, be very clear and very perceptive, and you're going to have, like a really good head on your shoulders. That's what's coming through to tell you. You're going to have a really good head on your shoulders when it comes, like, emotionally, mentally, all that good stuff. All right, let's get some advice, shall we? We've got mask. Let's see, the magnifying glass. Okay, yeah. Mask, magnifying glass, and time. So that basically you're already doing what this is telling you to do. Or it's telling you to go, this is how you start. This is how you start the process. You drop the mask, all right? Whatever mask you're wearing that you think that you have to wear in order to be loved and accepted by the world, by people, by others, by whomever, you know, shed all of that false identity, all that you know you're not, okay? And really shine a magnifying glass on who you really are to yourself, loving yourself, accepting yourself, all the beautiful, glorious parts of you, as well as all of the dark, unattractive parts of you, okay? We all have them, all right? And it's going to take some time. Like, stop. Okay, so I need to stop, like, demanding, because this is your this is your journey. But it's being suggested, like, especially if you're somebody that tends to be hyper aware of time, like how much time you have left. You know, you're running out of time, or someone that has a sense that you're running out of time is slipping away, all that stuff. It's like you have a magnifying glass on time. And so a couple of things is to drop the mask and then get out of your head and stop hyper focusing on time, okay? Really, part of coming back home to your heart and to yourself and radically loving yourself is really being able to be in the present moment. Being in your body and being in your heart space and living from that space means that, or it doesn't mean, what it does is it puts you just in this moment, in this present moment. As opposed to your mind, where when you're in your mind is where you're constantly hyper focused on time. And what that's going to do, really, it's like, I mean, you have to question that thought. I mean, what is time anyway? Time is really just a construct. All we ever have right now is this moment right now. The past is not here. It doesn't exist. The future doesn't yet exist. All we have is this moment. But when we are constantly, when our minds are focused on time, be it the past or the future, we are missing what's going on right now. And right now is actually where the magic happens. This moment right now is where you're able to create the life that you want, right? And so that's how you can better align yourself to this connection with your future spouse, if you're not already doing it, okay? If you're already doing it, this is just saying that you're on the right path. Okay, so this is letting us know here what you can do to keep and stay aligned to the path with your future spouse. So we have wild, discover your life purpose, and then sadness. Okay, so this is saying, okay, I'm I have a feeling like I'm really getting from the energy of this reading is like you are somebody who's very focused, very on task, very on point. It's like when you set your sights on something, it's like a beeline, a steam engine right to it. And you know, that has its place, right? And there's balance that's needed. You know, we need to know when it's time to be a force of nature, and then there's a time when we need to just rest and have faith and let things happen. Part of that is being wild. Embracing your wild nature, feeling carefree, untethered to something, untethered to a schedule, untethered to a to-do list, carefree and wild. This is really the embodiment, the full embodiment of feminine energy. It doesn't have a plan. It doesn't have a to-do list. It doesn't have, you know, a clock even. It's just in the moment. Just in the moment, okay? And then if you know what your, like that's part of you, like your life purpose. Part of your life purpose is learning how to, you know, shed the mask, shed the false identity, and loving and accepting yourself for who you truly are, and allowing yourself to live freely and carefree, to live without the schedule, to live without, not saying that you have to do that all the time, but know when to cut that part off, right? And then the sadness is just telling you to fully embrace your feelings, whatever they are. Sometimes I feel like you can get involved in a lot of distractions, like activities that distract you, because you don't want to feel your feelings. Because, you know, it's like if you feel like if you fall into it, it's going to be like a black hole and you'll never be able to get out, but that's not true. If you feel the feelings, they will pass rather than getting trapped and, you know, just so they can be triggered to come up again later. Okay. All right. We have a few more messages here, pile 5, and then that will conclude your reading. Here we're going to just get some direct messages from your future spouse to you. Here we have, please give me space to heal. This is all I know. And then we have, you've touched the depths of my soul. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. All right. So your future spouse, their message to you is that they're not going to be the kind of person where they're going to suffocate you, not at all. They're going to appreciate, and part of being wild and carefree is allowing another, whatever space they need to heal, whether it's space with you or space apart from you. They're going to, you know, they want you to know that, you know, they may be fairly reserved. Like if they're going through stuff, they may get quiet, right? You know, so they may withdraw. And I'm not saying when I say withdraw, they're not going to withdraw like and not talk to you ever or anything like that. But you're going to be able to tell when they're going through something difficult, because, you know, their energy is they're going to kind of go inside themselves. That's how they deal and process with things. Okay. And so I don't know if they're telling you this because you might be someone who, when you're going through a difficult time, your instinct is to draw near to the one that you love rather than away. And they're just letting you know, if you feel them withdraw, just give them the space that they need to heal and process and deal with it. And then they'll come to you when they're ready to. That's just, you know, I'm that way too. You know, not to say that I completely isolate myself from people, you know, but if I'm needing space because I'm going through a heavy situation in my life, you know, I'll let my family know that I'm going through something really difficult right now, and I need some space to process it before, you know, I can, you know, talk to you about it. Okay. And then they're going to be all about you. They're going to be all about you, pile 5. You're going to amaze them so much. And what's cool about that is you're going to amaze them so much. They're going to love you with the depths of their soul, being who you are, flaws and all. They're going to love even the flaws of you. You know, you're going to meet them at a time when the mask is gone. The mask is destroyed. You're no longer even associating with that false identity anymore. And they are going to fall head over heels in love with you. And once they get to that point, they're not going to want to know anything else. It's almost like, you know, you coming along and them meeting you is going to change like their perspective about so many things. And no, not in an unhealthy way, but like you're going to be their anchor. You're going to be home to them, which is such a beautiful feeling. All right, pile 5, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you some value. If it did, please do me a favor and smash that like button. And if you feel led to, share, comment, and subscribe. I am honored to provide these readings for you and help you out in any way that I can. I look forward to reading for you again, pile 5. I will talk to you later. Bye.